What do you think, Brian? Why would we change now? Was his line there? Why would we take a step back? We need to show conviction.
Well, I think he has changed. I mean, one of the things we'll see later today, Finland outplayed us in Dublin. When we tried to play it out from the back in the early stages with Stephen, where it was overcomplicated and there was too much emphasis on building up the play through the different thirds of the pitch. If you take when we've played better teams, leaving out some of the very mediocre teams we played and the poor teams we played where we have dominated possessions, the likes of playing friendlies against Andorra and Lithuania and teams like that, and Latvia tonight, who allowed us some time on the ball. We've looked all right, not always brilliant. We've got done on the counter press, team scoring goals from long range. But I think we played in a more pragmatic way over the period of Stephen's time in it. We haven't been trying to be too perfect with the build-up from the back. And I think of the game with Ukraine where, you know, Stephen says we're as comfortable as any team in Europe midfield. That's just not true. Ukraine completely outplayed us and we scrapped out a late draw, unfortunate, deflected goal, OG I think it was. But, you know, we think the game with Portugal, we did okay against Portugal in a 0-0 draw. But we didn't outplay Portugal trying to play good football from the back through the middle and up front. You've got to be sensible in this situation. We don't have brilliant players in the middle of the field. If Cullen's going to be the build-up player with maybe Malumbi or Jason Knight in there, they've got to be careful and cautious in the use of possession and the positions they receive it in. France might give them a bit of time on the ball. We saw it the other night. They got the 2 early goals, but they actually got the goals early from pressing when the Dutch team tried to play it out in the back and the Room was caught in possession twice on the first goal. But once they got those early goals, they set off and allowed the Dutch to come into the game and have some easy possession. But then when they got further up the pitch towards the halfway line, that's when they re-pounce again and they try to exploit the pace of the front players. And that may well be the tactic. So they will give us the opportunity to build her up, but it'll be only in setting traps to win the ball back and try to release.
Do you agree with Keith that we might need to be more direct then, rather than allowing them to set those traps? Play Evan Ferguson, for example, into the game early.
What's the best part of our team at the moment? Best part of the team is, you could say, has been a little bit solid with the centre halves. It's not necessarily the creativity in the middle of the pitch. It's the danger of the pace we have in the front positions. Whoever plays there, if it's going to be a 2 with, I would presume, Ferguson. I'm not convinced that he's going to play Ferguson.
Really?
But yeah, I just think he's been reserved. He's been, Stephen, a lot of when he's been asked about him, he hasn't been over complimentary to him. I think he's trying to hold back a little bit on him because he might not completely trust him because of playing Ida, Connolly and other young players in the front positions, Parrott, who didn't help him to win.
Maybe he's trying not to let the hype.
Yeah, but they didn't help him to win matches. He overemphasised playing the young players early on and they lost games, they beaten Serbia. And I think but he will have pace in the front positions. And if you have pace in the front positions, then give them the ball early to use that pace.